Hi everybody, and this is Brooke Lyle Sports Talk, and it is Thursday, May 7th. Today in sports history, 2 years ago today, Yevgeny Kuznetsov scored that goal to beat the Pittsburgh Penguins in overtime. They knocked out the two-time defending Stanley Cup champions in overtime, and the Caps obviously went on to win the Stanley Cup, so this is why I'm wearing this Capital Stanley Cup Champions hat today. 2 years ago today, what a memory. Unfortunately, today in sports, there will be nowhere near anything exciting. So, today I want to get to Major League Baseball and what they have done. This came out last night. I think Jeff Passan mentioned this. This was also mentioned by Ken Rosenthal as well, who works for The Athletic. Two very reliable sources. And again, this is not going to be a long video. I'm going to try to do this. I want to keep this right around 10 minutes. We'll see where it ends up, but that's kind of the goal. So right now, within a week, Major League Baseball could come up with a plan. So what is that plan? Obviously, we don't know. So what I've heard is, and this is speculation, and what I think they will say is that on May 1st, or I'm sorry, that in early June, so I don't know, a month from now, they play spring training games to get their players back into shape. And then they start the season on July 1st, and they play, let's say they have a 4-month season, they play 100, 120 games. For that matter, probably right around 100. And then they have a playoffs in November. That's potentially something that I have heard of. Now, there have been a lot of proposals thrown out over the last month or so. I mean, just a summary here. We started out a month ago, Arizona, where everybody's isolating Arizona. That's the whole league, and maybe you play doubleheaders, all that stuff. Then Arizona and Florida, realignment. Then Arizona, Texas, Florida, warm weather states. Then there's been all sorts of realignments this year. Do you get rid of the NL and the AL? Do you just have the divisions this year? That was something potentially thrown out. So there have been all sorts of proposals. Now, what is the MLB going to do next week? I don't know. But whatever they announce, and that is their goal, to get this out within a week, which, granted, a week from now will be mid-May. And if they can get a story out by mid-May, that would really be something. And then they talk about the proposal. So again, they're going to have to propose it to the players' union, and the players' union have to agree. And whatever they say to the players' union, whether they ask them this, and I have no idea what Major League Baseball is going to ask. I don't know. I could guess and say, what do you think? And this is the proposal. So, pretend I'm Major League Baseball. I'm talking to the players right now. So, this is what I would say if I was Major League Baseball. Okay, Players Association, all around the league, what do you think if we play 100 games? We start on July 1st. We send you all to spring training about a month from now, a little bit less. 100-game season. What do you think about this playoff format, where you have 8 teams per league make it to the playoffs, or you have 16 total teams in the playoffs this year, about half of the league, to make it more fair than what it otherwise would have been? What do you think about this? What do you think of not playing without fans? That doesn't seem like to be a discussion anymore. Since 8 weeks ago, everything shut down, and here we are 8 weeks later. Things appear to be the same. What do you think about? So again, kind of those proposals. What do you think about playing in your home ballparks? Okay, so Arizona, all 30 teams in Arizona. That's probably not going to happen at this point. Being in spring training, Florida and Arizona, probably not. 3-state league, probably not. Whatever realignment they do, oh yeah, they'll also ask, what do you think about this realignment? So again, Major League Baseball will come up with a proposal, and you ask the players. And if they disagree, if they agree, great, it looks like we're never seeing it. If they disagree, then they probably have to come up with something else. They'll probably do some bargaining. There might be intense meetings for a couple days next week to try to come up with something. And if they can't come up with any sort of agreement, and nothing works, and they say, you know what, let's just call it all off, let's forget about it, maybe it doesn't make sense to play this year. Maybe the same thing happens in the rest of the 4 major sports. The NBA just doesn't make sense. NHL doesn't make sense. NFL doesn't make sense in the normal times. Like normal society. You know, you have 40,000 people at a major league game on a Saturday night in the summertime. Right? You have 70,000 people on an NFL Sunday, right? You have things like that, right? This is not happening this year. Nothing is normal right now. And I really don't know when anything will be normal. So again, think about all of the proposals Major League Baseball is throwing out right now. And the good news is I think we're finally starting to see hope. We're finally starting to see potential light. We're starting to see some ideas. I think we're getting closer. So it's going to be very hard. A good example is Korean baseball. I've watched a few innings here and there over the past couple of days. And again, and you watch them play. You know, it's not Major League Baseball. Starters don't throw 97 like Major Leaguers do. Home run rates are a lot lower. It's a different league. Strikeout rates are a lot lower. It's sort of like what Major League Baseball was in some ways, I don't know, 10 or 12 years ago, 20 years ago. Probably less good than that. And yes, there are former major leaguers in that league, but the point is they're playing without fans. They have figured out how to play, and you see things. First base coaches have masks on. Players don't, and they're playing baseball right now. And again, it's very hard. And granted, South Korea is a much smaller country than the United States, so I think traveling is easier there. So again, another thing I want to bring out. And Major League Baseball does this. What in the world does the schedule look like? Since as of right now, we'd be about 6 weeks into this new season, with the schedule being out, with this current schedule. So again, the current schedule will be done away with. I think they'll have to throw it out. For an example, on July 4th, the Nationals were scheduled to play the Astros. Things like that, for that matter, right? So whatever schedule was going on, interleague play, all those things, AL, NL, all these things, we don't know. We don't know. And I've said that word so many times over the last month, 2 months. Regardless, so many things are unknown right now. But again, we are as close to as we've been in a long time to having a potential major league season. And sure, I'd like to. I don't know if it's safe or not. That's the biggest thing. Is it safe or not? And again, do we have to call off sports? It's again, when Major League Baseball makes their proposal, I will definitely be making a video about it, regardless of what they say, like what their proposal is. 120 games. Universal DH. Maybe that's a thing this year. Home stadiums. 16 teams in the playoffs, whatever it is, whatever it might be, it's a big mystery. But right now, if they're within a week, I feel like major league officials and maybe players are really, maybe right now behind the scenes, they're really working hard to figure out something and really digging deep into a potential season. Since everything's been thrown off from that standpoint. So now the question is, what happens and when the season starts? That is unknown. But my guess, if there is a season, I think they'll start sometime around July 1st. So again, a 3-month delay or so, perhaps. And then you play the season, and then what happens? Since again, I've made a lot of videos where maybe I went on for 30 minutes or 45 minutes just talking about different ideas and proposals. Since I don't know anything. None of us really do. And nothing's anywhere close to official. That's Major League Baseball. That's the National Hockey League. That is the MLB, NFL. At the end of one of my prior videos today, I talked about college football. That is an unknown too. All these things are. So the traditional October World Series like we had last year, Washington, Houston. That's not happening this year. Or whatever, or a June NBA Finals, forget about it. That's not happening either. All these things that we once were considered normal to us aren't happening at all. So, again, getting ready to wrap up here. What is Major League Baseball doing? I don't know. We're a week away. I like the sources. How is Jeff Passan and Ken Rosenthal, very reliable sources, maybe two of the biggest names in the MLB in terms of reporting. Kind of that Adam Schefter category or Adrian Woj category level of insiders. And we're still waiting. And my guess is the MLB right now is really coming up with a lot of different things. So we'll see what's thrown at the players. We'll see if they agree or disagree and if we can get a season going. And if we don't, I wouldn't be shocked either. Maybe it just turns out, you know what, you can't play sports. It's not safe. So that's an interesting thing. So many unknowns right now. But things are starting to get clear. So next week I'm very interested to see what I hear and what I see. I'll definitely keep an open eye out for that. So now, as I wrap up on this, I just want to talk about this for a minute as I get ready to leave. So I believe it's today, the NFL is releasing their schedule. So by this weekend, in the next coming days, we'll know what the NFL schedule is. So I'm very interested to see what it is. And again, unlike in other years, there's no certainty if these games are even going to be played and how this is going to work. But if that does happen, I'm going to talk about the NFL schedule, kind of talk about the potential games, kind of go into schedules. I'm looking forward to talking about that, so that'll be very interesting to hear. So thank you everybody for listening to these, or watching these videos today. I'm glad I had something to do today. So when the next video comes out, I don't know. Since news is slow right now, I have to pick and choose some of the stories of what I think is worth sharing. So again, I enjoyed doing this. Thank you everybody who's been watching. And we'll see you next time here on Burke Lyle Sports Talk.